I'm bringing you 5 weeknight meals to help you beat that summer heat. You can also find a lot of the recipes on my blog, Learning Together by Grace. Link will be in the description. You guys, welcome to my channel. I am Rebekah. Are y'all ready? Let's go. This first dish is a 1-pot shrimp stir fry. And so I am going to start it off by making some rice. I am putting 2 cups of rice into my pot. And then I am going to add some garlic powder with parsley seasoning, some black pepper, as well as some sea salt. I also like to spritz some oil on my rice just to make sure that it doesn't clump up as it is cooking. I'm just going to mix all of that in together, and then I'm going to add in about 1.5 cups of rice. I feel like that ratio is the best to make your rice nice and fluffy. So I'm just going to stir all of that together, and then I'm covering that up, and I'm going to allow that to cook for 20 minutes. These are the ingredients I am using. Fresh, I should say. I have some baby bella mushrooms. I have some garlic, onion, bell pepper. I got some okra from my garden, as well as a little jalapeno pepper, some celery, and a bag of frozen broccoli. This is a 16-ounce bag of frozen broccoli. So I am going in and slicing my onion, and then I am going to chop it up and set all of that to the side. Next, I'm going to crush my garlic, and then I'm going to slice it, and then I will mince it so that I can sprinkle it on my dish a little later on. Moving that to the side, now I'm just going in and slicing these baby bella mushrooms and placing that to the side. Now this bell pepper, I had used a little portion of it earlier in the week, and so I'm just using the remainder. Otherwise, I would have used an entire green bell pepper. So I'm slicing that up, and then I'm chopping it into pieces and setting that aside as well. Now I'm just going to cut up my one little okra. Y'all, I was happy about my one little okra. And then I'm going to also chop up my jalapeno peppers and make sure that I remove those seeds, because these little peppers are actually quite hot. I was very surprised at how hot these peppers were. Now, of course, if you have more peppers and more okra, by all means, add that to your dish. So I'm setting that to the side, and then I'm going to go in and start cutting up my celery. I'm just going to remove that end piece, and then I will go in and chop that up nice and small. Now I do use the leaves of celery because there's so much flavor, so you guys make sure you use those leaves. Now I'm going in and seasoning my shrimp with some garlic powder with parsley seasoning, some black pepper, some ginger, ground ginger, as well as some sea salt. And so now that I have all of that there, and I'm just gonna stir all of that together to make sure that it seasons my shrimp nicely. Alrighty, so now we are moving on to our frying pan here at the stove. I'm using coconut oil for this particular dish. And so I put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in the bottom of a heated stainless steel frying pan. Now I am cooking my shrimp on each side for about 1 to 2 minutes, not that long, because shrimp cooks very fast. I'm taking that out of my frying pan and then adding in some more coconut oil. And then I'm gonna go in with those onions and celery and just stir all of that up. And then I'm going to add in my bell peppers, my mushroom, and stir that as well. And then now I'm going in with that bag of frozen broccoli and just kind of stirring it to loosen up those chunks. Now I'm gonna go in with that other third of garlic powder with parsley seasoning, ginger, pepper, as well as salt to season. I always say I like to season every layer. You need to be careful about not overdoing it with the salt. Now I'm adding in about 1/4 cup of water so that the broccoli can cook well, and just stirring that and then covering it for about 5 minutes. Now I'm just stirring to make sure that it is done to the way that I want it to be. And then now it's time to create that peanut sauce. So I am going in with 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter. I actually like to use natural peanut butter because it doesn't have those added oils or sugars in them. So this is an organic peanut butter that I got from Target. Now you just saw me add in 1 tablespoon of liquid aminos. You can also use soy sauce if you would like. And I'm also pouring in 2 tablespoons of raw honey, and that's going to give it that nice little sweet taste. And then I'm going in with 1/4 cup of raw peanuts. They can be roasted if you would like. I just thought that the raw would be better. Now I'm just stirring all of that together until that sauce thickens up over those vegetables that I cooked. And now I'm adding in that clove of garlic, and I am going to stir all of that together to make sure that it is incorporated well. Lastly, I am going back in with that shrimp, and I'm going to stir all of that together to incorporate it and make sure that it gets warmed up again after being out of the pan. So you guys, this is what it looked like, and oh my gosh, y'all, this was a very delicious meal. Healthy and quick, and I wasn't in front of my stove for too long. Now this is my next meal. We are starting off with a whole chicken. So that we're not in front of our stove, we're doing it in our Instant Pot on slow cook. So I'm using garlic powder with parsley, I'm using paprika, I'm using black pepper, as well as some sea salt to season it. And so the way that I think about seasoning my whole chickens is that I look at the entire chicken as a whole and think I need to cover this entire surface area about 2 to 3 times over. So I cooked that, and it was frozen, by the way. And I always like to cook it for about 4 to 5 hours. I ended up cooking this one for 5 hours because it was in my deep freezer. Now I'm just going in and I'm just slicing it down the center where the breastbone is, and I am going to start deboning this chicken. For tonight, I'm only cutting off the parts that I need for my lettuce wrap. And the rest of it, I'm just going to set to the side and put in another container for a later day. Now, these are all of the ingredients I'm using. I have avocado, I have a onion, I have some tomato, I have this cucumber that I'm slicing up right now that I got from my garden, and I have some lettuce. I'm also going to be using this relish that my next door neighbor gave to me, and I am going to add that to my wrap. So I am just cutting up those cucumbers into slices. I cut my tomato into slices, and then I am slicing and then dicing this avocado. And now it is time for me to create my dressing. This dressing is going to be on my blog, and the link will be in the description. So it's 1/4 cup of yogurt, and this is whole milk yogurt, 1 tablespoon, actually it was 2 tablespoons, of raw honey. And then I am going to be adding in some garlic powder with parsley seasoning, some black pepper, as well as some salt just to taste. And then I'm stirring all of that together, and this will be added to the top of my wrap. You guys can use this as a dip for your chips, as a salad dressing for your salads, y'all. It was really, really good. So now I'm just going in and assembling my lettuce, and then adding my tomato, my onion, And then I'm going to be adding in my avocado. And then, like I said, I am also going to be using some pickle relish that my next door neighbor gave me as a sweet, sweet gift. And here it goes, you guys. It's actually really good. It's called a mulligan relish. I am hoping to be able to make this for myself one day so that I have it readily available when I want it. And there goes the chicken that I'm adding. And then lastly, I am adding that avocado on top. And then I am going to drizzle this whole sandwich or lettuce wrap with my yummy sauce that I created. Again, you guys, this would be perfect to add to your salads. You can dip your vegetables in, and you can find that recipe in the description, and it will be on my blog. I'm excited about this blog, you guys. All right, so now that we have that assembled, I am just going in and wrapping all of those yummy ingredients together and cutting it in half. I am going to be serving this alongside some fresh, yummy fruit. I have strawberries and grapes. Y'all, isn't this a delightful sight to see? Now, this next dish is a taco salad, right? Summer equals tacos to me anyway. So I'm using an avocado, some onion. I also have some green onion, some grape tomatoes, some lettuce, and some garlic. And so I am starting off by slicing and dicing up my onion and setting that to the side. And then I'm going in with my green onion and slicing up that entire thing. I had 2 sprigs of the green onion. And then I am finally slicing up my lettuce, essentially chopping it as well. And then I am just going in and cutting my grape tomatoes in half so that they will be easier for us to eat. And then I am going to begin cutting up my avocado. I'm cutting it in half, removing that seed with a spoon. That's always the easiest way for me to remove my seeds. And then slicing it vertically, and then I will slice it horizontally. And then I will use that spoon again to scoop all of that good stuff out of that avocado and place it to the side. And then lastly, I am going to crush and slice and dice this garlic. You guys, I like to make dishes like this that require fresh vegetables or fruit because it makes being in your kitchen a breeze. You're not in there that long to have to heat up your oven or your stovetop. So now I am taking a sprig of oregano that I got from my garden, and I'm removing the leaves from it, and then I'm taking my knife and just chopping it up into small pieces as best as I can. All right, you guys, so now this next portion of the video, this is where you do have to turn on your stovetop. But it's only going to be for a short while. So we're going to be using garlic powder with parsley, some paprika, salt, pepper, chili powder, and ground cumin. And I'm taking a pound of ground beef and just mashing it up. And so I have to apologize, you guys, for this video footage. It is dark, unfortunately. When I was recording, I failed to change the lighting, but nonetheless, you guys get the picture. Now, I'm just going in with all of these different seasonings, and I am using about a teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons to season my meat. And I like making my own taco seasoning because I feel like the added ingredients in the taco packets at the grocery store, they're just not for me and my family. So I like to try to keep it as natural as possible. So now I'm just using my smasher just to incorporate those seasonings and just to get that ground beef as brown as I possibly can. So after I do that, I'm adding in that onion, and then I'm adding in a cup of frozen corn. This is what makes this yummy corn taco salad amazing. And then I'm gonna go in and layer those seasonings back on. You guys, you're gonna find this recipe in my description, and you will find it on my blog. And so now that I am done seasoning all of that, I am going to stir it, and I'm going to then add in the garlic as well as the oregano, and then I'm going to stir all of that together to make sure it is fully incorporated. And you guys, now that it is plated up, I'm just adding some shredded cheddar cheese on top, as well as this Baja taco seasoning that my husband bought from the store. It's the Kinder brands. We love the Kinder brands. But you guys, this is what it looks like after everything is said and done. This was so yummy, and it only took me probably about 15-20 minutes to make. Now, this next meal is a turkey sandwich, and I made a coleslaw to go on top of it. I'm using celery, I'm using carrots, I'm using cabbage, onion, of course, and then I have a tomato over there. And so now I'm just going in and slicing up just a little portion of my onion, and then I am going to chop it up and add it to my bowl. And then I'm going in and shredding my cabbage as best as I can. Y'all, this wasn't working that great for me. So I ended up just taking my knife and just chopping the rest of it up. So I added that to my bowl. So now I'm going in and cutting up my celery, and I am cutting it into smaller pieces so that I can then finely chop that up and adding that to my bowl. I didn't use the entire piece of celery, and I didn't use the entire piece of carrot for this as well. I made some carrot strips and some celery strips. But now I'm going in and cutting up my carrot, and then I'm actually going to use my shredder to shred my carrots. This actually worked. It worked way better than the cabbage did. So now I am just removing that carrot from my shredder and just adding that to the bowl. And I have my garlic, and I am going to mince that up finely, and then I will add that to my bowl as well. So now that I have the fresh ingredients done, I am going to be using some whole milk yogurt again to create the dressing for this cabbage. I'm going in with about 3 tablespoons of the yogurt, and then I'm adding in actually 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. This is a tablespoon that I was using, and I was only putting half in there to make sure I didn't overdo it. Now I am going in with a tablespoon of raw honey, and then I'm gently seasoning it with the garlic powder with parsley seasoning, black pepper, as well as some sea salt. And then I'm just mixing all of that together to nicely incorporate that dressing into the coleslaw. And there it is. So now it is time for me to cut up some of my homemade sourdough bread. You guys, I am hoping to do a sourdough bread journey with you guys, teaching you how to create a starter and everything. So be looking out for that. Hopefully it will happen in September or maybe even October. All right, so this is some turkey that I cooked in my Instant Pot the day before, and I wanted to make a sandwich for leftovers, and it was so perfect. All right, so I added the turkey. Now I'm adding some coleslaw, and you guys, I'm adding my sliced tomatoes to my sandwich, and that is it. This is what we are looking like. Guys, this was really good, adding that coleslaw to my sandwich. Easy, cool meal. Now this next meal is my favorite because my lovely daughter Grace decided that she wanted to join me. What we are going to be doing is, well, actually she is going to be making a charcuterie board, and these are all of the ingredients that we are going to be using. This is such a fun, she's saying hi to you guys. This is such a fun way to get your children involved and just to break up the monotony of creating meals. And how fun is it to go and graze and grab the things that you want to add to your plate to eat. So she's starting off by using our apple slicer to slice our apples, and then she is carefully and gingerly placing those apples on the charcuterie board. Next up, she is peeling an orange, and she's going to separate that and add that to the charcuterie board as well. I was so excited that she wanted to be a part of this. She said, nope, Mom, I want to do it all by myself. So I was like, have at it. So she used her creativity to put this board together. Now these are some celery sticks and some carrot sticks that I cut up from the previous meal, and she's just adding that to the charcuterie board as well. This is an easy way to use up any cut up vegetables or fresh vegetables that you have in your refrigerator. Now she's going in and putting down the grape tomatoes. We had varying sizes. There were grape tomatoes, and I believe there were also some cherry tomatoes that were in there as well. And now we have our blueberries that she's adding. So we have our fruits, we have some vegetables on this board. And again, she was just having a good time just creating. She's like, oh, I'm gonna make something nice with this, Mom, watch. All right, and so now she's cutting up a Persian cucumber into slices, and she's going to then add that to the charcuterie board as well. I thought she was doing such a wonderful job with putting this entire board together. What do you guys think? Yes? Okay. So I thought it was so cute because right here she had some little bitty cucumbers, and she said, Mom, I'm adding the baby cucumbers to the board as well. So I was loving it, y'all. I was just here for it all. Now she is taking some cheddar cheese slices and cutting them up into triangles, and then she is adding that to the charcuterie board as well. She said that she's making mountains right there. That's what she was doing, y'all. All right, next up, she is just taking some salami and folding it in half and adding her salami pieces to the board, and then she's adding some tortilla chips around the entire border. I don't know why I was seeing the sun when I saw the cheese like that, but I thought she did a lovely job, you guys. She was so proud of it. What do you all think? This is the perfect summer meal for your family during the weeknight when it's busy. Took maybe 10 minutes to put together. Now a sneak peek of our upcoming video.
Hey, welcome to the kitchen, y'all. Hey, hey. Today, my wife tasked me on making a sandwich. I don't even know what that is. We're gonna do it. So, here's our ingredients.
He always makes good sandwiches.
Thanks.
I hope you guys come back next week so that you can see my husband's shenanigans in the kitchen with me. You guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let people know what we're doing over here. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I post a new video. Also, don't forget about the blog, Learning Together by Grace, where I'm posting my recipes and any other material that I feel would fit in with what we're doing over here. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. God bless.